This is the Red Over reaction to Bristol Rovers and preview to Carlisle United. First, we're going to react to Barnsley's important 2-1 win against Bristol Rovers, and then we'll switch into a preview. Let's get into it. So, Andy, an Andy special on the result, 2-1. Nice to see us sort of grinding out them results when they matter, because when you look at the league table now, it seems like it's split into a top 8. Games in hand, there's potential for us to put pressure on the top 2 as well if we win them, and it could almost end up like last season in terms of a top 4 that break away within the playoffs again.
I can't believe there's any doubt that we'd win 2-1. I can't. You heard it here last week. I don't understand what you're on about. Right, I've got a cat that's deciding he wants to join in.
As usual.
Do you know, he's the only time he bothers. He comes in having spent all night outside or most of it outside and then wants attention. Well, he's had that.
Oh, what's his thoughts on Bristol Rovers' performance?
Well, he'd tell you, but he's been muted. For all those that don't know or do know, did an instant reaction show outside the ground where our esteemed director and filmer,
production assistant,
Tom Webster, and it was
Silent Tom.
I can honestly say it was the best analysis and summary I've ever heard in my life. You'd have absolutely been thrilled with it. It was on the money, absolutely on the money and perfect. Only trouble was there were no sound recorded. So
it turned silent comments, Andy. Silent comments would have been great.
It turned into one of them films that you were used to watching, like silent ones.
Well, you see, what I think you should do. I think it should be put up, but with that piano music that we used to with Charlie Chaplin films,
black and white,
playing it background, and people could try and lip read. No.
I could subtitle anything I wanted into it,
and it would have been just as accurate as what we were saying. Yeah, I enjoyed the game. I think I've heard a few people saying, "Oh, it were rubbish. It were rubbish." I didn't think it were rubbish at all. I think both sides had a decent go. We had a good few chances. Both halves, particularly the first half, to score. They had a couple of good chances, and it's how it was. Some of their chances were from mistakes. Callum Styles. You think, oh gosh, slipped with the first half with Luke Thomas, and Luke did what he did for us. He's a good player, but he did what he did for us. Crannied about until it were too late and smothered it. He got smothered by a goalkeeper. It was a good save, but smothered it. Took too long. Should have hit it, but didn't. We had a few good chances. There were a few things we were popping around in their area, and they defended like their life depended on it with some of the blokes. I thought Adam Phillips at the end of one particular goalmouth scramble were very unlucky. Yet another block with a few corners. I thought we looked pretty decent. And then right at the end of the half, which is usually the best time to score, it's usually the time we concede, but the best time to score, a cross comes over. And I'm still not sure which one it was. I think it was McAtee, but it could have been Phillips. I think it was McAtee. Put it across. You're trying to say something, Tal. Don't tell me you've gone silent.
He's agreeing that it is McAtee.
Thanks, it's McAtee.
I don't want to be coughing on Joe. There you go.
Has Tom set up your laptop there, Al, with that muted audio?
Can't take any silent Tal. Can't take any more silent Tal. And Devante Cole showed, what a good striker he is. Not only did he get a good header in, he did what the best strikers do. He followed his own header in. He should always follow in, because if a goalkeeper collects it or gets it and holds it, that's fine. If he don't, then you're there to put it in. The best defenders should be there to protect the goalkeeper when that happens, and they didn't. So absolutely superb by Devante. Good header, bump have that. Goalkeeper gets a save on it, but is there to smack it in. Well, very, very well done by Devante. We should give him the credit that he deserves. Second half, it got very tasty. I thought there was some tackles and a half going in with some of them, and the referee was sort of giving fouls against us, but you know, in the biased way that I am, he weren't getting bookings against us when the same sort of tackles are at least as bad, if not worse, were going. But anyway, the second half we come out and they came back into it. They came at us like a train, and you'd expect that, wouldn't you? You'd expect them, and I'd expect them to slow down a bit with it after a while. You know, get the flurry out at wait for 10 or 15 minutes. They kept at it, and again, it was still tasty, and everybody were getting weighed in. We were going back and back, and you thought it's coming. And my brother's favourite player, his favourite player, managed to get in front of John Williams to edit in, and you know, in fairness, you know, whatever we think of Chris Martin, whatever, it's a good header. He took it well, and you can say, oh, you know, we shouldn't have let him get across him. But when you've got Chris Martin against Jordan in the air, then you're going to expect Chris Martin to get to it first. But it were a good header, so you know, I'm not going to get, you know, you can pick fault with any defender for any goal, but it was just a good header. And then, you know, we come at it again. We thought, well, so we went at him again, and a lovely move out wide by Devante playing it in. Adam Phillips, I think, I'm thinking he's done it one way and he's moved the other way, and I think he's going to break the net with this. All of a sudden, he passes it out to Corey O'Keefe, and I'm thinking, oh, you should have just hit it, because Note had been going for Corey, he'd been playing it inside and it been intercepted. He weren't having his best game, and I'm thinking, we need to bring him off, and then he puts it in goal. Great player, right? I'm glad we didn't bring him off, and it just shows you. I said on the silent instant reaction show, it made me look the clown that I am. So well done to him. And then, you know, we could have scored more. They could have scored. You know, Roberts pulled off a couple of good saves. They missed a couple of good chances. And we held on. You know, you just think, please don't lose another. You know, we'd lost the lead once at 1-0 to 1-0. Please don't lose it again. There's been too many games lately where we've surrendered a lead and snatched a draw from the jaws of victory, and we didn't. And for me, the key moment, a cameo role, if you like, a key moment for me were right near the end when Jordan Williams had gone to right wing back, and he got the ball. And I'm thinking, put it out at ground, and he took it down wing, and that's why he should be there. It were a great little run from right at the end and made all the difference. So well done to him. And it was nice to see Donovan Pine signing as well. And of course, the inevitable, we've signed him and everybody said, oh, he'll not sign. If he's got options, he'll go somewhere else. Well, we've signed him, so that's really good news. The inevitable, well, when will he be available? Not be available till then, not be available till then. If you listen to some people, not be available till next November. So
yeah, we'll speak about
we'll see.
Donovan Pines. We've got a bit more time. We can dive into it a little bit more in the next few days, because obviously, as you've said, it's still subject to a visa application and international clearance anyway. So,
and it's got to get fit as well, hasn't it? So
yeah, exactly. Did their season finish end of October?
Yeah.
So he's got a couple of months. Al, as well as the performance and result, we've done it sort of in spite of two somewhat solid first team players not being available, with Jamie McCart and Luca being out, John Russell and Jack Shepherd coming in. Great to see Jack Shepherd come in and sort of make such a good account for himself, especially given the rumours that he could have been on his way to Doncaster on loan.
To be honest, he took his chance, didn't he? For me, man at match yesterday was solid, driving through midfield, and I don't think he missed a header. And his gameplay were top notch. Russell come in, and I'm thinking, oh no, not yet again. We're going to be weak in midfield. And what for me epitomised that were when Russell burst through like a steam engine, got the Bristol Rovers player and put him on floor. And then you're thinking, oh, go on, John, you're creating something. And then he gets ball to their player, and we're countered. If he can only get his final pass right, he's not a bad player, but it's that final pass from John Russell. But
I felt a little bit sorry for him on that one, because it weren't he walked to their 18-yard box, and nobody put a tackle in for him, and he was looking desperately to pass ball and there just didn't seem to be a pass on at all. He just getting closer and closer to net. He should have shot.
Fair point. And going back, great to go in 1-0 at half time just before 41, 42 minutes. Devante's 15th season. And then yet again, they come back at us, and it was when after the substitutions that Martin scored, didn't he? And one apiece, you're thinking, oh, we've done the same again as Wigan. But then great second goal. Good team goal. Really good team goal. I mean, Phillips, I'm at Pontian saying, shoot, dropped his shoulder, bet his man, and thinking, shoot. But the layoff to O'Keefe were sublime, and finish was as well into the far corner. So we held on, and a good 3 points. And when you look at league table now, Portsmouth lost. We're really, I think, is it 7 points now behind Portsmouth at top with 2 games in hand?
They're on a bit of a bad run.
Yeah, I think they've got one win in 6. Off the top of my head.
I can't believe they lost 3-0 at home to Leyton Orient.
Tough play. It's just a lot of tough places to go, I think. I know people say the standard of the league's not great, but sides keep tripping up at sort of places where you don't expect it. So I don't really buy into that. The league's worse than what it has been and things like that. Tom, as I was mentioned there, obviously the Wigan game when they pinned us back, and we never really got going again to create the opportunity. It was nice to see that when we had been pinned back, that we sort of readjusted again, reset, and went back to what works in a way to work his way back into the game. And as Corey O'Keefe said, they've been working on that in training in terms of playing that sort of pattern in a way of Adam Phillips gets it inside, he makes run out wide and gets an opportunity. Good to see that stuff for the training grounds paying off as well, especially in terms of bringing that width with the wing backs.
Yeah, obviously, as coaching as bad as people think he is, if things are actually working.
Controversial.
Oh,
but what's his style of play? That's a big question. What's his style of play?
Your plan B. You're talking about a plan B here, Tom. I'm not happy. There's not supposed to be one.
Well, for me, it's game state. So we're taking the lead, and teams are going to come on to us. That you can't just sit back on it. You're losing 1-0, but they're going to come on to us. So, game of footballs, it ebbs and flows. There's no team, not even Man City, can just dominate a game for 90 minutes. So other teams are going to get chances, and yeah, we've conceded, and it's been a bit naff. But I thought his substitution yesterday was very positive. Bringing Cosgrove on, pushing McAtee back into midfield for Russell, basically, and I thought it was a very positive move. And then unfortunately we conceded. So, but later on, he brings Lopata on. He pushes Styles into midfield. He pushes Williams out wide. Bringing Cadden on as well. And you could argue that they're Lopata and Cadden are quite defensive moves, but again I thought it opened it up because Williams pushing out onto right, he helped push us forward. So I don't buy into this that we go defensive. It's just the fact that other teams become more attacking for me. But yeah, I thought the substitutes worked for him yesterday, and it was quite nice to see that it paid off, and the stuff that they're doing in training it paid off. And I agree with Al. Shepherd were just fantastic yesterday. He was really solid. Won a lot in the air. The thing I've noticed with McCart, sometimes he lets it bounce, and Shepherd just didn't. He would just, no, I'm on it. I'm going to clear it. I'm going to throw my body in way. I think there was one in first half. He made a block, got back up and made a second block, and he could have got a goal. He got onto a lovely ball, and Cox, their keeper, made a really good save. So yeah, I think he had a really good all round performance, and especially that we seem to have a left-footed centre back, I would not be sending him out on loan, because there's McCart and him. So if McCart's getting injured, or it gets us really thin on the ground at the back. So yeah, I think he's played his way into Collins's mind for the next few games.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see, and isn't it, when players get that opportunity to actually take it and then push on, because I think, as Tom said, he's probably pushed himself into Neil Collins's thoughts, mind, and probably going to reassess his position at the club, especially with the rumours of him going out on loan.
It was absolutely immense yesterday, and I said so on Tom's silent movie of last night. I don't know if I've mentioned it.
No, I don't think you have yet.
No. I'll...
It's all right, Andy. It's all right, Andy, because with that silent movie, I learned some vital information about you and what's happening on Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah. You're not going to Carlisle game, are you?
I'm not. No, you've saved my son. You saved my son from embarrassment. My son announced, and then suddenly realised on the way home, he realised that he'd said that because it's my wife Sue's birthday on Tuesday. I was going to come because she was going off to her choir, but she decided not to. So we're going to watch Swan Lake. And Jonathan said it, and in fairness to him, in the silent movie, mentioned it again, waxed lyrical about it, and then on the way home thought, hold on a minute, is my mother going to watch this? Because I think I probably went a bit far. Well, you've saved him.
I'd love to see you pirouetting.
Well, there's beautiful piece of music by Tchaikovsky, Swan Lake, Alan.
I can see you at Sugar Plum Fairy.
I think this is most cultured this show's ever been.
Absolutely beautiful, Al. Beautiful music, Al. Should get out.
Anyway, some good news anyway from one of our business sponsors, from Dan Whitehead from Car Seekers. He sent me a message from Executive Suite yesterday afternoon after the game. McAtee was man of match and confirming that he's here for the rest of the season. So that's a bit of great news for us.
It is, because, in fairness, we talked a lot last season about Adam Phillips being a magician, and he is, and he's come back to prominence, and like you said, the winning goal yesterday is absolute testament to that. Nobody can whip a ball in like him, and he's a player and a half for me. He finds passes that nobody else can do, but now we've got McAtee who can do very similar things. So finds passes and puts balls in that's spot on to people, spot on to players, finds players beautifully, and puts a lot of effort in. So it's good to see those two both doing it, because you don't know where it's coming from. So it's really, really good news. And I'm surprised. I thought we were selling 4 players. I thought goalkeeper were going back. They were all going back, and we were going to left me and you up front, Al, and that would have been.
There's time yet.
Not that good. Well, we'd have been all right, me and Al, for about 2 seconds, and then we'd be shattered. Well, 1 second, really.
No, we're going to say that's ambitious there.
Yeah, I know.
I agree for 2 seconds. But goalkeeper, that's given me a perfect segue onto Carlisle United, who we play on Tuesday night, who have signed Harry Lewis, who we were rumoured to be signing in the summer. So the Reds are coming up against Carlisle on Tuesday night in a rearranged fixture. I'll pull the stats back on screen now. So Paul Simpson's manager, top goal scorer, Jordan Gibson with 6, sat 23rd in the league. So it's been a bit of a rough promotion campaign for them so far since coming up from League 2. Form, 3 losses, a win and a draw in the last 5, and key player Owen Moxon with 3 goals and 3 assists so far. Tom, it's always difficult for sides to come in, obviously being promoted and then trying to ride that crest of a wave and keep going. But I think so far this season, the sides that have come up have put a fairly decent account on themselves in. Obviously, you've got Stevenage bothering the top 6 and really making almost a nuisance to themselves by being up there and so consistent. Leyton Orient beating Portsmouth yesterday 3-0, but there's always seems to be one side that does struggle when they do come up, and unfortunately it seems like it has been Carlisle that are the side that are struggling.
Yeah, it does often tend to be the playoff winners as well, because they're probably late to party signing players, and and that. Lost 3-1 yesterday, and yeah, they're averaging less than a goal a game. They've conceded, I think, 42 or something along those lines. So they're not conceding tons and tons of goals, but yeah, it's not great if you can't score at the other end. I think we should have more than enough to beat them. But you just never know. Like you said, there's teams there that like Orient beating Pompey. On paper, you just said Pompey wins that every day of the week, but you've got to turn up, and you've actually got to play football. So, but yeah, I think we're good for it.
Yeah, I think it's one of them that we'd be expecting to turn Carlisle over. Andy, I assume you've got some detailed stats about home and away form. So are you going to hit us with those, or have you not? Have you not had time this morning?
They haven't won away for ages. They've won one
We're
game.
at Bolton, I think the last away win.
It's easy.
Like,
It's
right at the beginning of the season.
They've only won one match since 20-odd October, so they're not.
Oh, that's good. Did you a win then? Brilliant.
So they're not in a great vein of form at all at the minute, as far as results are concerned. But we don't know. We've not seen them, so we don't know how well they can play. What I would say is that Alan and I will remember Paul Simpson from being a player, a left winger, and he were a class player. You know, he played brilliantly for Manchester City, for Derby, for Sheffield United for a while, Wolves and all. He were a really class player. And as you know, as a manager, he's earned his spurs through lower league clubs, Division 1 and usually Division 1 and Division 2, or League 1 and League 2, or Division 3 and 4, in old money.
Well, he was a Tigerish player, wasn't he, Andy? Very Tigerish sort of player.
He's a very good player. He will get. I think we might be surprised. I agree with Tom. We should have enough, but I think we'll be surprised. I think they will play football the right way if they follow the ethos of Paul Simpson, then they'll play football the right way. Whether it's going to be successful against us on Tuesday is an entirely different matter. But I expect, not that I'll see it, but I expect that it'll be a good game to watch, because anything like him, they will play decent football and be a pleasure to watch. So get ready.
Nice and positive that the duo win as well, which is always makes me nervous.
I don't think they do.
It always makes me nervous for these kind of games. How would you feel about this one?
Interesting, isn't it? It's second off bottom at league, and normally on a Tuesday night we don't perform against lower league sides, do we? It's perfect course for Barnsley. We tend to get down to their level. Hopefully under Collins it's different. They've only won 4 all season, drawn 8 and lost 15. We a goal difference of -19. So there's goals in game. If we can get our A game together on Tuesday, I think it should be a walkover. But you can't really say that, because thing is Luca back? He might be back, according to what Colin said yesterday.
And
now that would be
as well.
Bonus. That would be a big bonus if Luca's available on Tuesday night. So interesting. Plus, also there's going to be a 59th minute applause for ex-Red and ex-Carlisle player David Wilkes. So everybody, if you can applaud on 59 minutes, it will be much appreciated.
Yeah, certainly. It's always them kind of things that we do get involved in and do champion as a club as well, which is great to see. Tom, prediction. How do you feel for this one?
Fairly confident, to be honest with you. If Cole plays how he did yesterday, I thought he had a really good game, put himself about, doing a lot of pressing that he did not really done in previous games. and he got his goal, and he sort of gained an extra yard. So if he can continue that into Tuesday, I think there's a lot of goals in this, and I think it could be. I'm going to stick my neck out and say 4-1.
Oh goodness, that's 1 point at best.
Yeah, I'm not cracking it and predicting. To be fair, I need to wake our George up and ask him what he thinks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you could just get him on now and just give us a quick insight as well, I'll stop recording and we'll pick up 3 points. Andy, prediction, and also, do you reckon there could be the potential for any complacency in the side? Because obviously, you look at Carlisle. We're at home. They're not in great form. We're unbeaten in 9. It's one of them where you stack the two sides up against each other, and you'd think we've got a decent chance here.
It's always the problem, isn't it? When you come up for a decent win as we did yesterday, and then playing a team who, let's say, won 1 game in months, you'd expect an easy win. The trouble is, players are human, so if we took it easy and became complacent and lethargic as a result of it, then it'd be almost criminal. I don't think they will. I think they'll go for it. I'm not sure about Luca, whether he'll play or not. I don't know how well he is. I don't know what the problem is with it. But I'd be tempted. And again, I don't want to say it sounds complacent. I'd be tempted to, unless he's fit and raring to go. I'd be tempted to leave him until next Saturday when we play away to Stevenage. I think that's a very important game for him to be in. If it puts that at risk, then I don't know. I don't think yesterday was John Russell's game at all. I think he made a number of mistakes and looked lethargic and what have you. I just don't think a high press like them. I don't think it's where he excels.
To be fair, Andy, he always looks lethargic. He's not a quick player, is he?
He looked heavy leg yesterday for me. He looked heavy leg.
And it's not played for a bit. It's not playing much. So I'm not going to be too down on him because there's a player there. But yesterday weren't it. So to be truthful, I'd be tempted. Well, I'd be more than tempted to get Cosgrove on from the start and drop McAtee back a little bit, and put one of the others as that defensive midfield player. Unless Lucas raring to go and is fine, but I wouldn't want to risk him. Let's put it that way, because I think Stevenage is a very important game. So that's what I'd do. But we'll see. They're not scoring a goal a game. They're just not scoring a goal a game. So we can't. Can we win 2.5, 2 versus a half, or something like that? I'm not sure if you can do that. I can't decide whether to go for 2-1 because it's tried and tested, and I'm going to tell you about this. Tried and tested. Hold on, let me hold you. Let me tell you this, because this is a record. This is a red hot of a record. Right, yesterday, we had 74 predictions. Considering that we're not feeling very positive about things and we're all rubbish, 60 said we'd win, 9 said we'd draw, 5 said we'd lose. But a record of 29 people, 29 said we'd win 2-1.
Heck.
Strap your sens in, because I can't not.
29, we can have a little nap at this rate.
This might take a minute.
Well, you could turn sound off again, Tom, couldn't you? So strap in. So I said 2-1. Big Kev did. Reece Pierce did. Little Isaac did. George, Isaac's in front here now. Isaac did. Steve Wright did. Alan Steeples did. Chris Bradder did. Talking Gas Podcast did. God, even they did. Wayne Hamilton did. Oh, crikey. Alex Billington did. Keith Haig did. RMB, Matthew Baines did. Dean Pudfat did. Tony Carlson, all the way from Sweden, did. Johnny Moore's back and he did. John Connolly. Jasper Watson did. Well done, Al. Jack Jepson did. Oh, Super Reds did. Andy Atherton did. Oh,
that's a shame. That's a massive shame. That is a big shame.
Michael Brewer, Peter Riley, Fez, Wayne Brown. Well done, Wayne. He did. Joshua Rushforth did. Gary did.
Out of them 76, it's almost quicker to say who didn't get it right. It's not far off saying you might as well have said they were wrong.
Well, I could have gone through all 60 that got the right result. But,
Let's not do that because I'm not part of
29 people. So they know. Truth sayers, they know the right score. They are soothsayers. They know what to predict. 2-1. Come on.
And there I were at Ponty, wanting that third goal for my 3-1. I were trying to pull that third goal in. So all your 2-1ers would be going, oh no, not again.
No, we've got to when Corey O'Keefe pops up. We've got to.
15 people said 3-1, Al. Wrong uns. Well, not wrong uns, but not good uns. Not as good, Al. Not as good. Keep up. 2-1.
You're for 2-1.
Oh, yeah. Tried and tested.
I'm sure if you predict 2-1, depending on which league we're in, if we're in Championship, 2-1 loss, and if we're in League One, 2-1 win, I'm sure if you predict that every week, you'd win.
Well, I'm winning.
No,
Me and
I
29
think
others.
you'd win the whole thing. I think that's Johnny Carlson. That's his little approach. That 2-1 win, and I reckon every 3 or 4 results is a 2-1 win.
Me and Isaac at top at league with 27 others.
Tightest it's ever been.
What did you say, Josh? What did you say, Josh?
I said 1-1, so I
yes, you did, didn't you?
When Corey O'Keefe popped up.
The funniest thing, Josh, is that Craig Wood had predicted a 2-1 win, and then he changed it when he had the team news. He changed it to 1-1, and then when we won 2-1, I got a message from him saying, "In my defence, it was medication I'm taking." That's what
I thought you were going to blame Mia then. Yeah, Mia told me.
Get better soon, Craig.
Yeah. Get well soon, Craig. Al, what are you feeling for it?
It's behind me on Philip's shirt, 3-0 Barnsley.
Oh, that is well against a 2-1. I think I'm going to go. I'll sit in the middle of you and Tom. I think I'm going for a 3-1 win. So I'll complete the hat-trick of 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. We've got all bases covered. So when Carlisle score 2, that's us all done.
Nailed on defeat then.
Right. We'll be back on Wednesday. Doing instant reaction on Tuesday? Question mark? No, didn't think so.
Because there's nobody there, and
yes,
Andy's away, and I think Tracy's still away.
Yes.
You won't like to see an instant reaction on stage where Andy is pirouetting around in a tutu.
Are you going to get Radio Sheffield on, Andy, and cheer when Barnsley score? Put valid answers off.
It'd be a little bit difficult to have Barnsley match in one ear and listen to Swan Lake with other ear. I think it might upset a few folk near me.
Well, make it easier. Just put both earphones in.
Upset Sue, I would imagine.
You know, so
you could just see Andy in theatre watching Swan Lake, and we score, and he jumps up and pirouettes around in auditorium.
I'm not like your wrong uns. I still not hear it. It'll be the first match I've either not watched or not listened to. So it's one of them things, you know. It's my wife's birthday. You've got.
Well, there's something here. How can you come on show on Wednesday and talk about game? It'll be great listening to Andy about, they come on stage, they were all there in the tutus, and they were 4-4-2 formation on stage. You know, what can you say?
Lovely plie up front.
I've offered Tracy and other people my berth on this show on Wednesday. I've offered her my berth so that she can talk about the game because Tracy will be back. Pity she won't be able to do instant reaction or silent interaction, as I like to call it.
just do a piece to camera and do a monologue instead. Just thoughts on the game, and then
I could. What I could do is in the interval, I could record a bit of video about the game, or a bit of video about it, first half or something like that, and it'll not make any sense because I'll have absolutely no idea what's going off. But it'll make as much sense as your three Muppets.
Why you record every possible outcome of we're winning, drawing, or losing?
Yeah, I've done that before.
I'm just dumbing for Andy. Swan Lake music. Come on,
I
Andy.
thought that was Alton Towers music.
I thought were Alton Towers as well.
Well, all I know is that there's a dying swan in it, so get ready for somebody going over like tumble down
Just
tape.
don't them 11 on pitch on Tuesday night. Don't do a Swan Lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. We'll be back on Wednesday with a reaction show to the Carlisle game, preview of Stevenage, and we'll delve deeper into signing of Donovan Pines and any other potential transfer business that could happen between now and then. So see you then, you Reds.
You Reds.